And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all well. Yes, the title might sound quite a lot, but just stick with me a second because it comes from a very, very good source with regard to Xabi Alonso. We're going to dive into it. As you know, I'm not going to give you sort of crappy, the sun sources, so to speak. I'll only bring a sort of topic to the table if it's being reported to you by a good and trustworthy source. So we will get into it. But of course, Liverpool losing yesterday. The unbeaten run is over. I described it as the worst unbeaten run that I have ever seen. There was like 7 draws mixed in there. And after the Marseille game, I thought maybe the Reds had turned over a sort of new leaf, so to speak, and that we were going to see something a little bit different from Liverpool. But I was certainly wrong. Now, there was a lot that played the part in terms of the defeat, and I've done a big deep dive, of course, this on our sister channel, Panenka. But let's get into what I think. Individual mistakes. Virgil van Dijk, of course, made a mistake, and then at the end of the game tried saying something about the wind. Don't like that from Virgil van Dijk, to be perfectly honest with you, in terms of the excuses. Top level defender and making excuses. He made a couple of mistakes in that game. That's the reality. The squad depth is absolutely diabolical. Looking at the defence, we knew we needed a centre-back at the end of the summer transfer window. We were trying to get a defender in, so why on earth has the cheque not been out in January to try and amend that? That's on the board as well, by the way. Because, yes, Konate currently, my thoughts are with him. His father has just died, couldn't play the game. Virgil van Dijk, whatnot, but Joe Gomez in there, and of course Gomez picking up an injury. We have no depth. We even had Endo almost doing a sort of defensive job. That's a problem. That's on the board. That's them not backing the manager. Then of course Arne Slot is not object of any blame. Tactically as well, got it wrong. So persistent on the sort of double pivot as well. So yes, there's also game management. I think we were down to 10 men for about 7 minutes in that game as well. So game management from Arne Slot's not been good enough either. So yeah, there's a few different reasons as to this, and a lot of fans are not happy with Slot at this moment in time, and I can understand as to why. But he's not the only one that does get the blame. The board as well, and individual players as well, should be taking up some of this blame. But there's a story with regard to Xabi Alonso that I want to get into, guys. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So what we're seeing this morning, guys, is Liverpool have made their first approach for Xabi Alonso, reports Desorius, now via the Madrid zone. Now, some of you might be going, well, who the heck's this? This is a big Spanish source, ladies and gentlemen. And they literally came out today with this video saying Xabi Alonso to Liverpool. I can't translate it for some weird reason. But yeah, sorry, there you go. I'll translate it here with a grok. This video features Jos Felix Diaz from Desario AS discussing Xabi Alonso's future. He says Alonso is on an unwanted break after leaving Real Madrid, feeling tired but recharging. Liverpool has contacted his entourage to gauge his interest in returning as manager, one of his former clubs, but not immediately, as they are monitoring their current situation with ups and downs. Alonso is open to it. And that's translated from Spanish, guys. And this is always the important thing here, is that it's coming from a good source. This is a good Spanish source. Fabrizio Romano follows 3.1 million followers as well. Know all of the sort of ins and outs of Real Madrid. And they're saying initial contact has been made with regard to Xabi Alonso here. So this is some huge news this morning, by the way. And we'll wait to see if Fabrizio Romano comes out and confirms a little bit more. David Ornstein, Paul Joyce. But interestingly enough, it does come from a good source here. And they're saying that Liverpool have made initial contact with his entourage about the potential of planning to try and get him in as manager. Now, I don't think it would be this season. It could be a situation by the end of the campaign, so certainly one to watch upon. In this section of the video, we will go over the 5 biggest takeaways from Liverpool's disappointing 3-2 loss to Bournemouth. Liverpool got what they deserved after losing at the death against Bournemouth, with the 3-2 defeat riddled with naivety from Arne Slot's side. Number 1. Liverpool got what they deserved at Bournemouth. Usually the opposition scoring a last-minute winner would hurt badly. But did any Liverpool fan really feel that way this time? The fact is, this outcome was pretty easy to accept because it was one that the Reds fully deserved for yet another abject performance. Bournemouth generated far more XG, 2.3 to 0.83, created more big chances, 6-1, and won more duels, 38-33, as they dominated proceedings across the 90 minutes. As such, it did not feel in any way like they had stolen the 3 points when Amin Adli poked home at the death. Number 2. Arne Slot can't hide behind unbeaten run, so ends the worst unbeaten run of all time that saw Liverpool lose 0, draw 6 and win just 7, all while playing largely poorly. And with it goes an important shield for Arne Slot against criticism for the level of performance his team have been putting in of late. Now that the Reds have won just 5 of their last 18 league outings, will come back into focus, as well as the fact that they have been in bottom half form since September. Make no mistake, some of the decisions made over the summer are partly to blame, and so Richard Hughes and co should be in the firing line, but is this squad so flawed that it should only be capable of producing those numbers of points? Not a chance. Number 3. Wataru Endo's substitution delay shows Reds' naivety. At times as fans we can be guilty of forgetting that not everything in football can be controlled and that sometimes luck can go against you. But there was nothing unfortunate whatsoever about the fact that Liverpool had just 10 men on the pitch when they conceded their second goal in this game. During the 7-minute spell between Joe Gomez being forced off around the Bournemouth opener, the Reds had ample opportunity to either make a soft foul or put the ball out, yet failed to do so. And they subsequently got everything they deserved for that barely believable naivety, conceding another goal as they found themselves short-handed at the back. That might seem a harsh assessment, but this is professional football. It is quite simply inexcusable for those involved not to have realised that their numerical inferiority could cost them at this level. Number 4. Arrogant Liverpool won't enter centre-back market. If a Gomez injury was enough to force Liverpool into the January transfer market, then they would have already dipped into the market, safe in the knowledge that this was always going to happen at some point before the end of the season. As such, you suspect the Reds will instead stick to their usual line of not making any panicked moves, an approach they insist helps them retain a strong record in terms of transfers. Of course, that claim does not stand up to scrutiny, given 8 signings were made in the summer, and presumably the club's recruitment staff are convinced by all of them. What's more, any addition now would only be getting ahead of the need for at least one centre-half that is clearly going to be there come the end of the season. Unfortunately, Liverpool will inevitably stick to their guns in making this smart decision, even if it is obvious to everyone that it is wrong. Number 5. Virgil van Dijk's off night sums it up. It has rarely been said during his Liverpool career, but Virgil van Dijk cost his team big time in this one. The Dutchman's weak clearance attempt was key to them conceding the opener, and he followed that up by positioning himself far too deep to ruin the defensive line for the second. If you were being generous, you could say that it was unlucky for the manager that such a reliable performer had an off night, given that it basically never happens. But then it should not be forgotten that so many of the Reds' key men have played beneath their ability this season, and so there has to be a common denominator. Usually when a squad is not performing as it should, there is one man who takes the blame. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.